Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle and this is Michelle Reads YA, and today we are doing a spring book haul. In my 2020 goals video, said that I didn't want to buy books this year, and that was a lie. I can say that I haven't bought as many books this year, but I have still been buying books. Mostly since this whole pandemic, I have been trying to support couple of my local bookshops, so every once in a while I will buy a book from them. I also did a book outlet haul and Barnes & Noble. So I'm gonna show you the books that I bought. Also, I am notoriously bad at knowing what the books are about, so I will be reading the flap of them all. Not all of the flap, but so we all know what these books are about, because I tend to buy books because of the cover and the hype, and that's it. So we are gonna find out what these books are about together, and let's get into it. The first book that I got is Clap When You Land by Elizabeth Acevedo. I have read The Poet X by her. I've read it and listened to it, and it was great. So I wanted to get her newest book, and let's find out what it's about. Now Rios lives for the summer when her father visits her in the Dominican Republic. But this year, on the day when his plane is supposed to land, Camino arrives to the airport to see crowds of crying people. In New York City, Yahaira Rios is called to the principal's office where her mother is waiting to tell her that her father, her hero, has died in a plane crash. Okay, so I believe this is in verse, and I love The Poet X. It was in verse. It was super easy to read and listen to, so I'm very excited for this. I'll probably read it sooner rather than later because I'm really excited. I still have to read The Fire on High by Elizabeth Acevedo, so maybe I'll do that first, and then this one. The next book that I got on Book Outlet, and this is Anna Lee in Real Life by Janelle Milanes. I got this because Chelsea from Chelsea Darling Reads really liked it, and I feel like we, for the most part, have very similar tastes, especially in YA books. So let's read what it's about. Ever since her mom died 3 years ago, Anna Lee Echeverria has had trouble saying out loud the weird thoughts that sit in her head. With a best friend who hates her and a dad who's marrying a yogi she can't stand, Anna Lee spends most of her time avoiding reality and role-playing as Kiri, the night elf hunter at the center of her favorite online game. So, this is contemporary. It has hard-hitting things, which I really love. So, very excited to get into this, and it was about $3 on Book Outlet. The next book that I got was also from Book Outlet, and that's All We Could Have Been by T.E. Carter. I read their first book, and I'm pretty sure that I DNF'd it, so it was bold of me to buy this one, but I got it on Book Outlet, so it was cheap. And 5 years ago, Lexi witnessed something that shattered her to her very core. To cope, she moves from town to town, desperate to hide the darkest of family secrets. In every location, she assumes a new name and flies under the radar as long as she can before anyone figures out who she is, who she's related to. I feel like this has something to do with something her brother did. I remember this. It's coming back to me. So I'm excited to read this. Her first book, I didn't love the writing and I ended up DNFing it, but I know people who didn't DNF it really liked it. So hopefully I'll like this one. This next book is also from Book Outlet, and that's Bruiser by Neil Shusterman. I believe this is his first book. I could be mistaken, but it's one of his first books. There's a reason why Brewster can't have friends, why he can't care about too many people. Because he cares about you, things start to happen. Impossible things that can't be explained. I know because they're happening to me. When Bronte starts dating Bruiser Rollins, the guy voted most likely to get the death penalty, her twin brother Tennyson isn't surprised. But then strange things begin to occur. Tennyson and Bronte's scrapes heal unnaturally fast and cuts disappear before their eyes. What at first seems like their good fortune turns out to be more than they bargained for. Much more. Interesting. I didn't know what this was about at all, so we'll find out one day. The next book is by an author that I've read before, and I know that this is also a movie, and that's Love, Rosie by Cecilia Ahern. Rosie and Alex are destined for each other, and everyone seems to know it but them. Best friends since childhood, they are separated as teenagers when Alex and his family relocate from Dublin to Boston. Like two ships always passing in the night, Rosie and Alex stay friends, and though years pass, the two remain firmly attached via emails and letters. Heartbroken, they learn to live without each other, but destiny is a funny thing, and in this novel of several missed opportunities, Rosie and Alex learn that fate isn't done with them quite yet. So I want to read this before I watch the movie. I know that Lily Collins is in it, and also Finnick Odair, whose actor name I don't know. So Finnick Odair is in it. This is also from Book Outlet, and I have no idea what it's about. I got it because the cover, it looks like a contemporary. Okay. The Girl with the Broken Heart by Laureline McDaniel. I don't know anything about this. So, for the past few months, family has meant nothing but heartache for Kenzie Kane. Her second year at college comes to a close. The last thing she wants to do is return home. Luckily, she's just landed her dream summer job working at the well-known Belmead Horse Farm in nearby town of Windermere. Rehabilitating abused horses is hard work, but it's the perfect distraction from her mother's deep depression and her turbulent relationship with her father. Excellent. So this is actually an adult romance, I believe. I did not know that. Also, I'm having a very hard time with adult romances right now, so we'll see if I actually like this. I took a risk getting this for the cover, and it's an adult romance. The next book is from Book Outlet, and that's Give Me Your Hand by Megan Abbott. I haven't read Megan Abbott before, but I believe I have The Fever on my shelf from her as well. Kit Owens harbored only modest ambitions for herself when the mysterious Diane Fleming appeared in her high school chemistry class. But Diane's academic brilliance lit a fire in Kit, and the two developed an unlikely friendship, until Diane shared a secret that changed everything between them. Cool. I'm excited for this. It's adult. I'm starting to get more into adult fiction now that I am turning 30 and I am truly an adult. But YA will still have my heart forever, so we'll see how I like this, and maybe I'll read The Fever as well. This next book is also from Book Outlet, and I had an arc of it and I never read it because last year was the year of my book slump, and that's When Summer Ends by Jessica Pennington. I got this because of the cover and because it seems like a summer romance, so that got me. Aiden Emerson is an all-star pitcher and an all-around golden boy in Riverton, or at least he was before he quit the team the last day of junior year without any explanation. How could he tell people he's losing his vision at 17? Straight-laced Olivia thought she had life all figured out, but when her dream internship falls apart, her estranged mother comes back into her life and her longtime boyfriend dumps her right before summer break. She starts to think fate has a weird sense of humor. Excellent. This sounds like I'm gonna really like this. This one I took a complete chance on. I have never heard of it. I got it because of the cover. I got it on Book Outlet. That's Touch by Courtney Mom. Estranged from her family, best friends with her driverless car, partnered with a Frenchman who believes in post-sexual sex. What? International trend forecaster Sloane Jacobson is the perfect candidate to lead Giant Tech Mammoth's conference for affluent consumers who prefer visual relationships to the real thing. But early in her contract, Sloane starts picking up on cues that physical intimacy is going to make a major comeback, leaving many, Sloane included, to question if her maturing intuitions are as dependable as they once were. And if Sloane goes rogue against her all-powerful employer, will she be able to let the love and connectiveness she's long been denied herself? It was an NPR Book of the Year. I don't know if this sounds like a book for me, but we're definitely gonna try it because I bought it. And the next book that I got from Book Outlet, I got because of the cover, and that's The Impossibility of Us by Kate Upperman. This just looks like a book for me. The last thing Elise wants is to start her senior year in a new town, but after her brother's death in Afghanistan, she and her mother move from San Francisco to a sleepy coastal village to be closer to Elise's sister-in-law and niece. When Elise meets Maddie during a beachside walk, they quickly discover how much they have in common. Yes, I believe I'm going to like this. This is also from Book Outlet. I believe I got 15 books just from Book Outlet alone. All We Have Left by Wendy Mills. I got it because of the cover. Now, 16-year-old Jessie is used to living with the echoes of the past. After her older brother died in the September 11th attacks, her dad filled their home with anger and grief. When Jessie gets caught up in the wrong crowd, one thoughtless decision turns her life upside down. The only way to make amends is to face the past, starting Jessie on a journey that could reveal the truth about her brother's death. Ooh. I think I'm gonna like this. This is a thick boy, but the writing is humongous, so we gonna be okay. I definitely got this because of the title. This is from Book Outlet. It's When You Were Here by Daisy Whitney. I don't know. Okay. Danny's mother lost her battle with cancer 2 months before his high school graduation. The one day she was hanging on to see. Now Danny is left alone with his memories, his dog, and his heartbreaking ex-girlfriend Holland for company. He hardly knows how to act around her or what to say for his valedictory speech, let alone how to feel happy anymore. And this sounds depressing, and I'll probably love it. Okay, the next book is not from Book Outlet. This is a gift from my best friend Jordan. This is Jordan's favorite book, so thank you, Jordan, if you're watching this. That's Call Me By Your Name by Andre Aciman. Oh. I watched the movie, loved the movie, and I haven't read the book. I just actually got the book from Overdrive on audiobook, so I'll probably end up listening to it, but I'm very excited to own it as well because I think I'm gonna love it. Oh, and it's read by Armie Hammer, who I love. It's also from Jordan, so thank you, Jordan, for my birthday presents. That's The Sundown Motel by Simone St. James. I have her book The Broken Girls, which I haven't read yet. I'm very excited to read, and I've heard really, really, really good things about this book. It is about upstate New York, 1982. Viv Delaney wants to move to New York City, and to help pay for it, she takes a job as a night clerk at the Sundown Motel in Fell, New York. But something isn't right at the motel, something haunting and scary. Excellent. I think I'm gonna like this. The next one, I am taking like bi-weekly trips to Target to get food for Rowan, and I bought myself a book, and it's an adult romance. Am I gonna like it? Probably not, but I'm gonna tell you about it. It's You Deserve Each Other by Sarah Hogle. I just recently realized that I might not like adult romance, so I bought this before I had realized that. But it is. Naomi Westfield has the perfect fiance. Nicholas Rose holds doors open for her, remembers her restaurant orders, and comes from the kind of upstanding society family any bride would love to be a part of. They never fight. They're preparing for their lavish wedding that's 3 months away, and she is miserably and utterly sick of him. Naomi wants out, but there's a catch. Whoever ends the engagement will have to foot the non-refundable wedding bill. When Naomi discovers that Nicholas, too, has been feigning contentment, the two of them go a head-to-head battle of pranks, sabotage, and all-out emotional warfare. I might like this. We'll see. I'll keep you updated. The next book I got from a local bookstore to keep them in business, and that is Stamped by Jason Reynolds and Ibram X. Kendi. This is a nonfiction book about racism, anti-racism, and you. The construct of race has always been used to gain and keep power, to create dynamics that separate and silence. Racist ideas are woven into the fabric of this country, and the first step to building an anti-racist America is acknowledging America's racist past and present. I agree. I also love Jason Reynolds. The first book I ever read by him was All American Boys, and I sobbed. And all of his books are amazing. I'm very excited to read this. My friend Hope has read this, and she really liked it. I think I'm going to like it as well. Okay, we're back to Book Outlet. So I had an arc of this book and never read it because I suck and I don't know what it's about. But that's Words We Don't Say by KJ Riley. Ever since the thing that happened, there are certain people he hasn't been able to talk to in person. Sure, he shows up at school, does his mandatory volunteer hours at the soup kitchen, and spends pretty much every moment thinking about Eli, the most amazing girl in the world. But that doesn't mean he's keeping it together or even has any friends. So instead of hanging out with people in real life, he drafts text messages, but he never presses send. Cool. It's really short. I think I'm gonna like it. It's also from Book Outlet, and that is Goodbye Perfect by Sarah Barnard. What's it about? Eden McKinley knows she can't count on much in this world, but she can depend on Bonnie, her solid, steady, straight-A best friend. So it's a bit of a surprise when Bonnie runs away with the boyfriend Eden knows nothing about 5 days before the start of their final exams, especially when the police arrive at Eden's door and she finds out that the boyfriend is actually their music teacher, Mr. Khan. Cool. Yeah, I think I'm gonna like this one. Also from Book Outlet, If I'm Being Honest by Emily Wibberley and Austin Siegmund Broca. I have their first book, haven't read it yet. It's on my to-do list. I have so many books. I'm gonna do it. I just keep rereading books. It's stupid. Okay. Cameron Bright has a lot to say, even more to learn about love. Turns out being gorgeous and popular doesn't get you off the hook for being a total bitch. True. Guess Cameron didn't get the memo. So when her crush Andrew balks at her nasty ways, she'll do anything to get back in his favor. I believe this is a retelling of Taming of the Shrew. The next book, oh no, I got from Book Outlet. And it looks like it was a Wattpad book, so we shall see. And that's The Upside of Falling by Alex Blight. I didn't realize this was a Wattpad book, but that doesn't mean it's not awful, so we'll see. It's been years since 17-year-old Becca Hart believed in true love. But when her former best friend teases her for not having had a boyfriend, Becca impulsively pretends she's been secretly seeing someone. Brett Wells has it all, a captain of the football team and one of the most popular boys in his school, but should have no problem finding someone to date, but he's also been more focused on his future than who to bring to prom. When he overhears Becca's lie, Brett decides to stand in and be the mystery guy. Okay, we'll see. It's super short, so can't be that bad. I got this book from Barnes & Noble. I haven't read her first book, but I heard it's good, so we'll get there. And that's When You Were Everything by Ashley Woodfolk. It's been 27 days since Cleo and Layla's friendship imploded. Nearly a month since Cleo realized they'll never be besties again. Now Cleo wants to erase every memory, good or bad, that tethers her to her ex-best friend. But pretending Layla doesn't exist isn't as easy as Cleo hoped, especially after she's assigned to be Layla's tutor. I actually thought this was a female-female romance, so joke's on me, but it should be good. It's contemporary. I got this because of the cover and because I really liked One of Us is Lying, and I thought hopefully it would be like that, but we'll see. It's not getting great reviews. And that's All Your Twisted Secrets by Diana Urban. What do the queen bee, star athlete, valedictorian, stoner, loner, and music geek all have in common? They were all invited to a scholarship dinner only to discover it's a trap. Someone has locked them into a room with a bomb, a syringe filled with poison, and a note saying they have an hour to pick someone to die or else everyone dies. So, I hope this is good. It's getting mixed reviews on Goodreads, and I try not to let Goodreads sway me, but we'll see. The next book I got is adult fiction, and that's Evie Drake Starts Over by Linda Holmes. In a sleepy seaside town in Maine, recently widowed Evelith Evie Drake rarely leaves her large, painfully empty house nearly a year after her husband's death in a car crash. Everyone in town, even her best friend Andy, thinks grief keeps her locked inside, and Evie doesn't correct them. Meanwhile, in New York City, Dean Tenney, former Major League pitcher and Andy's childhood best friend, is wrestling with what miserable athletes living out their worst nightmares call the yips. He can't throw straight anymore, and even worse, he can't figure out why. I heard this is good. When I worked at my library, this was like requested for months in advance, so I'm hoping I like it. The next one is In 5 Years by Rebecca Serrell. Another adult fiction. Danny Cohen lives her life by the numbers. Her every goal has long been mapped out and accounted for. To her mind, the unpredictable does not exist. She is nothing like her lifelong best friend, the wild, whimsical, believes in fate Bella. So when Danny is asked the proverbial question at the most important interview of her career, she has a meticulously crafted answer at the ready. Later, after nailing her interview and accepting her boyfriend's marriage proposal, Danny goes to sleep knowing she is on the right track to achieve her 5-year plan. Oh. But when she awakes, she's suddenly in a different apartment with a different ring on her finger, and beside her a very different man. Nice. This sounds great. Super short. Can't wait to read that. The next one I got after Midnight Sun was announced that it was coming out, because I'd never read it, even though it's the same fucking book as Twilight. And that's Life and Death by Stephanie Meyer. This is just gender swap Twilight, which I'm gonna totally read because it's the same fucking book and I love Twilight and nothing has changed except that I think Bella's name is Buford and Edward's name is Edith. Stupid. Can't wait to read it. Cannot wait. The next book I got for Mother's Day from my husband, and that is The Honey Don't List by Christina Lauren. This is another adult romance. Will I like it? I don't know. Carrie Duncan has worked for home remodeling and design gurus Melissa and Rusty Tripp for a decade. A country girl at heart, Carrie started in their first store at 16, and more than anyone would suspect has helped them build an empire. With a new show and a book about to launch, the trips are on the verge of superstardom. There's only one problem. America's favorite couple can't stand each other. Okay. I'll hopefully like this. This sounds good. The next book I also got from my husband for Mother's Day, and that is How to Not Hate Your Husband After Kids by Jancy Dunn. I would just like to point out that I don't hate my husband after Rowan. We both just thought this was funny, and it was on my wish list. So, many expectant parents spend weeks researching the best crib or safest car seat, but spend little time, if any, thinking about the titanic impact a baby will have on their marriage and the way their marriage will affect their child. Our marriage hasn't changed, so I'm still growing. The next book I got at another different local bookstore to keep them in business, and that is Heartstopper Volume 1 by Alice Oseman. All I know is that this is a male graphic novel, which I'm very excited for. I could read it online for free technically, but I wanted to own it, and the art is super pretty, and I'm very excited to read it, and hopefully I like this and get Volume 2 and 3 and 4 is coming out? I don't know. The next book I got from Barnes & Noble is Imagine Me by Tahira Mafi. This is the last in the Shatter Me series. I have not read the last 3 books. I have not read Restore Me or Defy Me or this one. So my plan is to reread the original 3 and then read this one, and everything will be fine. And the last book that I got was Killing November by Adriana Mather. I read How to Hang a Witch by Adriana Mather and did not like it, but I believe this is a mystery. Let's find out. At the Academy Abscadity this is wrong. Classes range from knife throwing and poisons to the art of deception, and the students, all silver spoon descendants of the world's most elite strategists. One is a virtuoso of accents and never to be trusted. Another is a vicious fighter determined to exploit November's weakness. And then there's the boy with the mesmerizing eyes and secret agenda. We'll see. The sequel just came out, so yeah. So that's it. That is my spring haul. I hope this was better with me reading the description so we can actually know what the fuck these books are about instead of me being like, I don't know what this is about for 20 minutes. So we'll see. Let me know if you like this video. Let me know if I should read any of these books like super fast, because if you like them, let me know. Thanks for watching my video. See you in my next one. Bye!